Hey guys, this is Carrie Rhinehart with 5-Minute Math. Today I'm going to be looking at adding and subtracting polynomials. If you're following along in the book, it's from Algebra 1, Unit 5, Lesson 4. Okay, so adding and subtracting polynomials. For example, let's say that I have 2x squared minus 3x plus 2. This is a trinomial. It's a quadratic trinomial. Plus negative x squared minus 10. And this is a quadratic binomial. So when you're adding and subtracting polynomials, you can only combine like terms. And for something to be a like term, okay, it has to have the same variable, and that variable has to be raised to the same power. So same variable raised to the same exponent or power. So let's underline some like terms here. I've got 2x squared, so that's x squared. Okay. And then I've got a negative x squared over here. So those are like terms because they're both x raised to the power of 2. We've also got negative 3x here. So it's just x to the first. There is no other x to the first in here, so there's nothing else I can combine that negative 3x with. Then I've got 1. That's a constant, so I can combine it with any other constant. So I can combine that with negative 10. Okay. So when you're adding, which is what we're doing here, when you're adding polynomials, just go ahead and combine your like terms. So we've got the 2x squared, and then that's a minus x squared. We've got negative 3x, okay. And then we've got plus 1, and then that's a minus 10. So I'm going to combine 2x squared minus x squared, and there's an understood 1 here. So we're going to get 1x squared, or just x squared. Okay. Negative 3x I can't combine with anything, so I'm just going to write minus 3x. And then I've got 1 minus 10, which is negative 9 here. So here's my final answer, and it is in descending order. It's highest exponent to lowest exponent, and we are done. Now subtracting is very similar. You just have to be careful of that subtraction sign. So let's look at an example of subtracting polynomials. So let's do the same one, but let's subtract. So let's say we have 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 minus negative x squared minus 10. When you're subtracting polynomials, what you should do is go ahead and distribute this negative. It's minus this. So we need to distribute that negative to everything in that parentheses. So we need to distribute the negative here and here. Okay. So I'm just going to drop off the parentheses here. I've got 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. And when I distribute that negative to the negative x squared, a negative times a negative becomes a plus x squared. And then same thing with negative times negative 10, that becomes plus 10. And now I just need to combine like terms. So I can combine my 2x squared and my x squared. There's nothing to combine the negative 3x with. And I can combine the 1 and the positive 10. So 2x squared plus x squared, okay, understood 1 there, is 3x squared. Then I've got the negative 3x, which I can't combine with anything. And then finally, I've got 1 plus 10. So that's a plus 11 here, and you are done.